Hello gentlemen, Doc here with another cooking video for you. Today we're going to make a take on a French omelet, which is a very kind of classical French dish. And it requires a lot of technique, and it's a little harder than maybe the omelet you would get at a diner. So what I have here is I have my pan is over kind of my throttle on my heat's about 3/4 of the way, and I'm just melting some butter in it. And I'm using a kind of a little nonstick pan, and I don't want this to get too hot. We really want to cook this kind of slowly. So I'm just letting my butter get melted, and I'm going to take it off the heat, and I'm going to beat 3 eggs together. So while I'm doing this, the question a lot of times that happens with eggs is, do you season before or after you cook them? And what happens is, as eggs get a little older, not older like they're going bad, but just older, the proteins in them denature. And what happens if you add salt to it, it could kind of end up making your eggs watery. So I say, unless you have chickens and you can get them right from your backyard, you should season things like omelets afterwards. So I got this. This is very hot. I'm going to add my eggs to it. And the minute you add your eggs, you take your spatula and you never let this stop moving. The goal is to make the little curds of the egg as small as you possibly can. And what you can do is, if you see the curd setting up a little too quickly, like I have here, you can just pick it up off the heat and shake it around to get the pan to cool off a little bit. Now you keep moving, you scrape down the sides, you move. You move, scrape down the sides. And as you're going, this is the technique that gets you a French-style omelet. And now there's nothing better or worse about a French-style omelet than a kind of a traditional diner omelet. But it's just kind of a different culinary experience, and I think it's something you guys should try every now and then. So once you get to this stage, you see it's still pretty wet on top, but the bottom has mostly cooked through. What we do is we bring our spatula underneath and we start to roll. We start to roll. And if you did it correctly, you'll notice that the outside is kind of nicely cooked and the inside will still be a little runny. And this is exactly what we want. So let me grab a plate to plate this on. To get this properly out of the pan, what you do is you first start by grabbing it this way, put the plate on top, and you can simply just flip it out. Now, this is not the perfect French omelet, but it's pretty good. How I like to serve it a lot of times is I have right here some blistered tomatoes. So these are tomatoes cooked in a pan with no fat in it. I would do this either in non-stick or in a cast iron. It will stick to stainless steel. And now I sprinkle the whole thing with a little salt, some pepper, and I like to put just a touch of olive oil on my tomatoes. And there you have it, a delicious breakfast. Now, the one thing I want to show you, which is different about this omelet than a traditional omelet, a kind of a diner omelet, so we cut it kind of in half, you should be able to see that the inside is still quite runny. And this is kind of what makes it delicious. So give it a shot. I'd like to see what you come up with.